Arsenal injury update. Ben White, Jurrien Timber and Mikel Merino latest news and return dates. Gunners hope to have pair back for a Champions League final. Arsenal came out of their final home game of the season with no injury scares, as they beat Burnley 1-0 at the Emirates Stadium. Kai Havertz's goal in the first half earned the North Londoners another huge 3 points, which draws them that much closer to the Premier League title. They could not win the title on Monday night, but should Manchester City drop points at Bournemouth on Tuesday, then the Gunners will win a first top-flight trophy in 22 years without kicking a ball. There's been an injury blow in the last couple of weeks, with Ben White ruled out for the remainder of the campaign to deepen Mikel Arteta's right-back woes. There was a positive against Burnley, however, with Riccardo Calafiori overcoming the doubters to bounce back from his minor niggle. White was seen after Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham with his right knee in a brace after being forced off midway through the first half after a challenge with Crescencio Somerville. The right back was treated for an extended period, and Arteta said post-match that the injury was a concerning one. Arsenal confirmed that the defender suffered a significant injury to his medial ligament, MCL, which will see White miss the rest of the season. Standard Sports understands, however, that the 28-year-old will not need to have surgery on his knee, and instead will undergo a full medical rehabilitation program to get him fighting fit for next season. It is hoped that White will return in time for pre-season, easing fears of an extended absence leading into the 2026-27 campaign. It has been 8 weeks since Jurrien Timber last played for the Gunners, who lost their first-choice right-back at a pivotal time in the season. The Dutchman went off injured in the 2-0 win over Everton in March, and has since missed 13 games in all competitions with a groin injury. Arteta later admitted that the defender's problem was complicated, but he held out hopes that the former Ajax man would return before the season was out. He wanted to be very close to the team against West Ham. He's progressed a little bit in the last few days. He's feeling better, Arteta said after the win at West Ham. We're going to try to get him fit and available as quick as possible, but let's see. Obviously he's been out now for a while, unfortunately. He's such an important player for us, we all know that. He's doing everything that he possibly can to help the team in any capacity. We know his leadership, his quality, and how much the team needs him. He's trying everything he can. Mikel Merino had surgery on a foot fracture in February and has not played for Arsenal since. He's on the recovery trail and could also feature before the end of the campaign. He has since returned to individual training with the view of being part of the travelling squad for the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain in a fortnight. Arteta, meanwhile, still has his doubts over his compatriot. I don't know, there's still a fair bit to do, Arteta said of Merino. Everything needs to be so smooth and quick, as they want to have a chance to play any minutes. Arsenal came out of their final home game of the season with no injury scares, as they beat Burnley 1-0 at the Emirates Stadium. Kai Havertz's goal in the first half earned the North Londoners another huge 3 points, which draws them that much closer to the Premier League title. They could not win the title on Monday night, but should Manchester City drop points at Bournemouth on Tuesday, then the Gunners will win a first top-flight trophy in 22 years without kicking a ball. There's been an injury blow in the last couple of weeks, with Ben White ruled out for the remainder of the campaign to deepen Mikel Arteta's right-back woes. Said Ben White and Jurrien Timber will miss Arsenal's match against Burnley on Monday night, with the manager describing White's problem as a long-term injury and warning that the defender's return is not expected for many weeks. The update came on Thursday as Arsenal prepared for their final home game of the 2025-26 season at Emirates Stadium. Arteta said the club will have to look at alternatives at right back because the two defenders he wants to use there are not available at the moment. White picked up his injury against West Ham, and Arteta said the focus now is getting him back and available for Arsenal. He added that White's absence could run deep into the coming weeks, a setback that also raises fresh doubts over his chances of featuring in England's World Cup plans. Timber, meanwhile, has been out since March and remains unavailable for the Burnley visit. There is still uncertainty around Riccardo Calafiori, who was forced off in Arsenal's win over West Ham last weekend. Arteta said he did not know whether the defender would be ready for Monday night, adding that the club still has days ahead to see how he reacts. The manager said Calafiori wanted to stay close to the team and has progressed a little in the last few days, but Arsenal will wait before making a call. For Arsenal, the timing is awkward. The club is heading into the last home match of the season with its right side of defence stretched and little certainty over when White will return. That leaves Arteta juggling immediate selection problems with a longer absence that may shape the start of next season as well. More background on White's setback is available in a previous update on his absence and the growing right-back concern for Arteta.